Who the heck is Pep Talks?
I'm not gay, but I fantasize about Marco Rubio. Pep Talks. Pep Talks. Pep Talks. Let's eradicate the Kung Flu. I'm literally coming. Pep Talks. Pep Talks.
Who the heck is Pep Talk?
They want our women. They want our children.
Pep Talks.
Sometimes no means yes. Grab them by the
Pep Talk.
Grab them by the Marco Rubio. Obama is a racist.
Pep Talks.
I'm literally coming. I'm
Pep
literally coming.
Pep Talks.
We found weapons of mass
Pep Talks.
destruction. My fellow Americans, it has been confirmed today from Pep Talks that we are indeed all high on politics.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a new edition of This Space, where you got a fun week ahead of us, and also it's PEPAGANDA time. Let's go. Oh my God. I was just outside trying to take care of something in my yard. This was kind of funny. I had everything planned, everything ready to go. I started early. I think I was here before our wonderful producer here. And just got a nice little wind gust outside that decided to knock over my garden and just cause a whole lot of commotion. So that was a lot of fun, but I was able to make sure everything is okay. So yes, welcome to the show, and I appreciate you guys being here. Hope you guys are well. Also, just want to say that this is going to be a little bit more news heavy than the last few Pepagandas. You guys are going to get a pretty in-depth education on what happened yesterday in Los Angeles. Actually, it was in San Diego, not Los Angeles. My bad. It was, close enough. Actually, you guys that reminds me, Angeles Times. The Los Angeles Times just came out with more information. I can spell San Diego right. So the Los Angeles Times actually released the names of the perpetrators who were 17 and 18. I'm just going to come out and say I am deeply disturbed by how they are treating this with kids' gloves. When Tyler Robinson, they were talking about trans furries right away. They were already just like this. We've already got his online search history. Look, he's a leftist liberal. Oh, wait a minute. No, he's not. He's an online weirdo. Wait, you're telling me that he was technically a Republican up until this point, and he even voted for wait. Well, hold on. That doesn't fit the narrative. This one was so fucking obvious because it was a mosque. Immediately, everybody was just like, well, I wonder why or how this happened. This is crazy. What could have caused this? You know how they like to talk about, the left is using inflammatory rhetoric. So I have a few prime examples of what might be leading to this, as far as we got Laura Loomer. Essentially she is calling for violence against Muslims. And I think it's getting to that point where it's like, yeah, you could they better hope that Laura Loomer isn't in their search history, because you might be able to tie her to inciting violence if that is the case, because of the just blatant language that she's been using. So, a little disturbed by this, and the fact that they're trying to do it under the auspices of, they're minors. No. Number one, 18 years old. Last time I checked, you're an adult. They are using the teenage language, which is fucked up. They don't do that for Jeffrey Epstein victims. No, I mean, you guys remember what Megyn Kelly was talking about? How 15. We have a deeply, deeply fucked up country. And I know that I'm breaking news here to everybody, but we really do. And it's not even it's outside of politics. It's the way that we respond to things, again, men perpetrating these crimes. And then when women are the victims, we somehow have to pick it. We have to go through their search histories. We have to go through their lives with a fine-tooth comb just to make sure. We want to make sure that they actually, had what happened to them because, oh no, we don't do anything to trust women. Shit. I have to hold on. Oh my God. There's an actual terms of service for reading the LA Times. This isn't even for like a paid sub. By continuing, you agree the terms of service, which arbitration and class action waiver and our privacy policy. What the actual fuck? What? No, I'm not clicking that shit. Well, I guess I'm just reading it off my phone. Fuck it. I'm not gonna click that. Are you fucking kidding me? They essentially want you to sign an NDA to go read the news. That's a big hell no, dude. Let's see. Oh, of course, it's not on my my feed anymore. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, here we go. Here we go. From the Los Angeles Times. What we know about the teens accused of attacking San Diego Islamic Center. Two people, ages 17 and 18. Two people. We're not even going to just say two young men. Not even young men. Two people. That's beyond fucked up. Again, just the language. Like, pay close attention to the way that they are breaking this. Two people, ages 17 and 18, opened fire at a center, not a mosque, a center. On Monday morning, police said they were found minutes later from self-inflicted gunshot wounds, according to authorities. Authorities are trying to unravel what led to two teenagers opening fire in a San Diego Islamic Center, but killing three before taking their own lives. An early focus has been on one of the assailants, a San Diego high school student whose mother reported that he was thinking of doing self-harm and potentially armed before going to the mosque. If you guys like, I have to kind of also like adjust things because they use the term shooting a bit too much, and I don't want to get us flagged for any of that, which is so messed up because, you know, covering news and all. The teen and a second person, 18. Oh, okay. At least they kind of figured that out in this one. Open fire at the center. It's okay. Monday morning at 11:30. They were found minutes later from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. San Diego police are investigating this as a hate crime. One of the guns had hate speech written on it. The sources told the Times. I bet that's gonna piss off Kash Patel. Holy shit! An actual a non-false flag attack that has the same thing where they wrote on the gun. It's almost like they inspired this. Weird. Oh my God. It's so crazy. Cause like, you guys remember how like there were these school shootings and nobody they didn't write shit on the guns or like we always had to guess the motives, but then all of a sudden Trump becomes president. We have all of these shootings happening and they just, conveniently have their manifestos literally written on the fucking weapon or on the shell casings. Let's giving this a nice little bow. So yeah, one of the guns had hate speech written on it. The Times said anti-Islamic writings were found in the vehicle. At one of the suspects, at least one of the suspects took the firearm from their parents' home and left a note. And writing about racial pride, sources say. Monday afternoon, FBI agents searched the teen's home of Laner Drive, according to law enforcement. Again, FBI is already on this. So why not in true FBI, like Kash Patel form, why are they not releasing more information? I mean, they're not exactly ones to kind of hold the line on chain of custody or any of that. So where's the tweets, Kash? Where's the tweets? Monday afternoon, FBI agents were searching the home, blah, blah, blah. The house is around 2 miles away from the Islamic Center, which is in Claremont Mesa, in a Claremont Mesa neighborhood. The teenager was enrolled in virtual learning in a wait. He was enrolled in a virtual learning academy at San Diego Unified School District. I'm starting to think that this remote education stuff going back to COVID, not good. Kind of like making everybody be parasocial, like with their own student body. What the fuck? We are desocializing our kids. Like, this is wow, like creating an entire generation of just antisocial morons that don't know how to fucking do basic functions. This is going to be great. And I'm a preface that I do not have children. I don't plan on having children. Very happy that I'm not planning on not having children. Especially now, like, for all those people that are just like, you don't know what you're missing. I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. It's like, you don't know what you're on the hook for. God. Check your kids. The teenager was enrolled in the Virtual Learning Academy in San Diego Unified School District and was on track to graduate high school this semester, according to district spokesman James Canning. He previously participated in wrestling at Madison High School, but did not take part in any on-campus activities this school year. That's wonderful for priming students to go out into the world and actually, like, because that's what school's for. It's preparing these dipshits to go out and live like us as adults. And I mean, as a dipshit adult himself, that, like, I'm a break some news to you guys. Adults don't know half of what we used to think they did. When you're like a kid and you're looking at authority, you're looking at your parents, you're looking at your teachers, and they're like, these adults really got it figured out. No, they didn't. Not at all. God, had I understood that they were mentally probably inferior to us too, because they didn't actually, like, we were learning this stuff fresh. Like that whole show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? There's a reason it works so well, because realistically, the kids actually do know more. It's about whether or not they retain it. Dipshit adults represent. Appreciate that. What up, everybody? By the way, welcome to everybody in chat. I will be going through that in a minute. So it's important for people to understand that this person wasn't there on Friday. And then all of a sudden Monday, this is the situation Canning said, they were in the virtual classroom. So just disappears for a long time and then just pops up. Although authorities have not named the teen, 3 sources identify. Although authorities have not named the teen. This is where I really wanted to harp on this, because I'm not, like, this isn't just like my normal, like, haha commentary. This is genuinely serious. When you look back at what happened in Texas with that sniper, when you look back at what happened with the Charlie Kirk situation, when you look at all of this, they released the pictures of the shell casings. They released the information on the weapon. Hell, in the Charlie Kirk one, they even sent us information on two suspects that weren't even the guy. So what now? Why not? Like, why all of a sudden? Like, I know I kind of covered this at the beginning, but is it good? Can they make it any more fucking obvious? It's the same thing with the trans shooter in Minnesota. They made sure that we knew it was a trans shooter 5 minutes into releasing information. Are you like, this is? We live in such a messed up country that they can't even, like, try. They can't even try anymore to make it, like, have a veneer of, fairness. Like, now it's just like, no, this one didn't fit the mold. Like, this was them. Like, I bet Cash Patel said, did we set this one? Like, was this us? No, sir. And he was like, God damn it. I have to actually work. Damn it. You know that swigged a beer and then fucking, all right, let's get on the private jet. No, the private one. And make sure my coat's there. And also my blankie. Oh, wait, that's Christy Noem's blankie. Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, he would steal Christy Noem's blankie because she doesn't need it anymore. Although authorities have not named the teens, 3 sources identified him as Kane Clark Whiterson. Two law enforcement sources identified the second suspect as Caleb Vasquez, not so Whiterson. San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall. Now this makes me wonder, though, like, did these guys have it in S-Pact? Like, that's crazy. Like, so one of them is feeling, he's feeling down and he's talking about how he's going to do this and how he would, like, this is the craziest part we're about to find out here. Hate to bury the lead, but yeah, apparently this guy had a history. San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall said Monday that his department got a call from the teen's mother about a runaway juvenile. He said the mother said that guns were missing and that her son left with a companion wearing camouflage outfits. Time to ban camouflage, people. You know, we can't be having camouflage out there. What's up with that? What's up with that? And for some reason, this ad thing just popped up. Give me a second. Here we go. Police were interviewing her when the first calls of an active shooter came in. Oh, dude, could you imagine the panic that she felt? Like, in all seriousness, could you imagine like that oh shit moment? When, and I hate to do this, but you got to wonder what her politics and what the father's politics were. I mean, the kid was homeschooled essentially. Like he was he was already antisocial. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that his social media diet had a certain leaning, you know, because I'm not going to play this game where, oh, well, we need more information. We need all the information to even make these speculate. No, we don't. No, we don't. When they are out there, again, minutes after a shooting saying that this was a trans shooter and that we need to enact laws to lock, to start spying on these people to make sure that this doesn't happen. Yeah, no, fuck that. Fuck that. That's the PSYOP bullshit where it's like, no, come on, Dems, you're better than us. It's like, no, you don't get to dictate how we fucking react to things, or libs. God, I got into that today. The difference between libs, Dems, and leftists. It was funny. I actually, Elon Musk was just like, the left is the party of hate. And I was just like, the left isn't a party, numbnuts. Go like that tweet, guys. Seriously, go like that one. I'm proud of that one. That one deserves to get boosted. So if you guys are on Twitter, you don't even have to follow me. Just go heart that tweet specifically. Also drop a follow if you enjoy my content. Alrighty. Wall did not specify the threats connected to the teens. Oh my God. What is it with these cops like playing these games right now? There was no specific threat, especially no specific. Oh, okay. Never mind. Hold on. There was no specific threat called into the center. So it's like, yeah, sorry guys, my color correction is so messed up today. I actually had to make sure that like my lights didn't just turn blue on me all of a sudden. That's not the case. Hell. Also, let's do this. Correct. Or not, whatever. They're dancing around it so much. I'm glad you guys are noticing that. Like, it's disturbing, right? Like, this is very disturbing. You blew it. I'm blue. All right. Do I go full cringe and just do? I was like, do I do the full cringe? Do I do the full cringe? No, because I want to get through this. God, what a distraction, though. It actually kind of looks cool, to be honest. Well, I might be changing it to blue then. I appreciate the instant feedback. That's nice. At least does it like make me like, I feel like I look pale as like hell right now. Man, this is weird. I'm sorry that like this just happened. I don't know if I can even fix this in my settings. I'm not sure if this is like technically Streamlabs or StreamYards or not. Jeez. Anyway. All right. Yes. Back to the fact that the police were interviewing the kid's mom. And then they found out about an active shooter. Like I said, that had to be that instant moment of, oh, God. All right. So there's no specific threat, especially no specific threat to the Islamic Center. Okay. Oh, my God. So he couldn't just say there was no specific threat to the Islamic Center, but he's trying to do this where he's just like, they might have just picked it at random. I don't know, man. I don't want to comment and say that there was this was pre-planned or anything. Sad lighting. Aw. Yeah, I know. I'm feeling blue today. Blue without you. There was no specific threat, especially no specific threat to the Islamic Center. It was just general hate kind of speech and what I think covered a wide gamut. This guy's a moron. Again, we are still actively investigating this as we speak, but it was more generalized. So this guy was trying to play that game where it's just like, he could have been a lefty. Come on. He could have been a lefty. Guys, man, law enforcement they were already fucking clowns, but now it's just like, okay, we are Charlie Kirk. We get it. Every time you see a cop, you should just just scream out, "We are Charlie Kirk." Authorities said that when they arrived at the center at about 11:45 a.m., they found 3 adults dead in front of the building. Police then received additional calls about gunfire several blocks away. A landscaper was shot at but not injured in the 7100 block of Salerno Street. Minutes later, police also responded to the 3800 block of Salerno Street, where inside, officers found 2 suspects dead. Little is known about the second suspect. Clark attended an elementary school and middle school in person at the district, but following the pandemic, his family enrolled him in online schooling full time. That means that this kid had this antisocial tendencies. Like, come on, let's call it like it is. This is where I'm getting sick of this, man. Like, on one half, we're supposed to fucking, you got to mince words, you got to tiptoe. We don't want to insult or offend anybody. Get out of here. During the shooting, 5 of the district schools close to the Islamic Center were placed on lockdown. Okay, standard procedure. We get it. San Diego Unified Superintendent Fabi Bagula said in a statement Monday that hate has no place in our community or schools, and every student, family, and community member deserves to feel safe, valued, and able to worship and gather without fear. Man, you got, again, Kash Patel was just like, was it a Christian church? It was a mosque? Fuck. You just know it. The district is making counselors available to all students and families affected by the tragedy. Officials have not spoke of a specific motive. Of course they haven't. The San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria said hate has no home in San Diego. Islamophobia has no home in San Diego. An attack on any one of our communities is an attack on all of us, on any San Diegan, because of who we are, what we believe, and how we pray is an attack on every single one of us. Okay. Did Kash tweet out evidence that? No. And that's why I'm saying, no, there's been nothing. There's literally been nothing about that. So yeah, that's where we're at with some of this. But here, let's get some of what the MSM is saying. And now, like, I'm glad that we did this first because it's so blatantly obvious where we're at. And this is what's scary is, again, it's 2-tiered. If this was a Christian church, they would automatically just be like, was it trans motivated? Like, it's fucking insane. But we can't even speculate about this. We can't. Why would we even try to deem where they were politically? What does that have to do with any of this? Huh? Sorry. Like, this one really got me pissed. Getting sick of this, of the way that society, like, this goes back to, like, how we treated the Brock Turner situation. I'm still mad about that, where this guy was caught on camera graping a woman behind a fucking dumpster, and then he just got let out because, we can't hold him accountable. That would be just a bridge too far. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of the the silly voices today. Should probably knock that off a little bit.
We'll get some critical information from the San Diego police chief, specifically the timeline. What he said is just a little over 2 hours ago, authorities were called to the Islamic Center of San Diego due to reports of gunshots. He said they arrived within about 4 minutes, police did, and then found these 3 men.
MSM better name the victims.
And victims in the parking lot of the mosque.
For anybody that's curious, or like, if just in case they don't, I already have that pulled up because, I apparently have more journalistic integrity than everybody anybody that is reporting on this.
He said authorities then went to try to enter the mosque, as they often do. They'll try to identify any potential shooter. But then police got calls of yet more shots fired at another area near the mosque. They then went to that location. They said they learned that there was a landscaper there who had been fired upon, but thankfully was not struck by bullets. But here, I have to admit, Jake, is the most strange, bizarre, however you want to describe it, part. Authorities say that they found two men ages 17 and 19 in a vehicle. They
17 and 19 now.
believed to be the suspects. They believe they
Now you're calling them men?
died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. That raises a lot of questions about, A, who those people are, but obviously what potential motivation there was here. We have had this question over the last couple hours.
Gee, I don't know. Have we checked their Twitter?
Whether the shooter or shooters, plural, may have been associated
I mean, we got to talk about, is this another one where, like, so this is what I'm scared of, is that they're going to be like, well, he was active on Discord.
with this mosque, or whether this was
Discord's the bad
complete,
guy.
targeted violence from the outside. We did appear to get some indication of an answer to that from the police chief, because he said that they have now brought in the FBI, the San Diego field office. He said they are treating this as a hate crime until they've determined that it's not. And of course, what that signals to us is that that would not appear to be someone who was a member of the Islamic Center there, if they're describing this as a hate crime. But again, a lot of questions here. We've covered, you and I, so many acts of mass violence in this country, so many shootings. Rarely do you ever see two people engaged in the same type of targeted act of violence in a shooting. But here, authorities say they believe that these are two teens are indeed the suspects. A lot of questions about who they are, what the motive.
Again, this guy seems upset about that. He seems upset that this didn't fit a preconceived mold of what this shooter should be in Donald Trump's America.
Motivation was.
I mean, I hate to do this, but realistically, it is kind of fucked up that all of a sudden, every single fucking shooting has been, blamed on the left, where realistically, and I'm not trying to just be like, oh, well, all, the school shooters from the past were right wingers, because not all of it was politically motivated. But realistically, it is kind of fucked up how quickly they started doing that right after Trump got into office.
And obviously why they decided to take their own lives.
Yeah, wait, this wasn't in the playbook. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so obvious the way that the mainstream media is acting about this, the way that law enforcement is acting about this. This is why, like, you get conspiracy theorists, like, out of the fucking blue just going, okay, were the other ones false flags? Because seriously, it seems like the other ones were planned. I made a joke about Kash Patel going like, wait a minute, this wasn't us, but for fucking real, how many of these do we need to kind of go like, yeah, that's a little sus.
Lives outside this houses of worship. A lot of we often say that there are a lot of questions, more questions than answers. This is truly one of those very peculiar situations that authorities are trying to get to the bottom of, Jake.
Steve Moore, what was your...
That's not how you guys cover the mosque, or not the mosque, the oh my God, the Jewish temple shooting.
Your first reaction to what we heard from police, the San Diego Police Department, about the shooting at the large
synagogue? I couldn't think of the word.
This mosque in San Diego County.
I was kind of surprised at the fact that we didn't know that there were 5 fatalities until now. It obviously happened in a very short amount of time when and they found the
amount of cop cars
fairly quickly. Yep. What's interesting to me, Jake, is
the amount of cop cars and how the situation was already taken care of at that point.
That
it's insane.
Obviously.
And also, like, what are we spending our tax money on? Like, we gave them all these toys. They didn't even bring in the fucking big tank.
2 shooters.
What are we doing?
You rarely get that. The other thing is that I responded to.
Oh, there it is. Never mind. There we go. They got the big ones out. Never mind.
Active shooter
that back.
One time. Who went to a Jewish community center. After escaping from the Jewish community center, he shot a postal worker who was...
Did they shoot a postal worker?
Non-white. And
I can't.
The reason...
I'm sorry. I wish I was a better person that could hear. Like, I'm sure that he's a perfectly nice fella. I'm sure if I met him in real life, I would not be this mean. But holy crap, you're on CNN and Jake Tapper to boot. He put you out there. I'm gonna make fun of you.
He was a white supremacist, and that was
white supremacist.
Was fair game for him. The fact that they just randomly
spicy pep today. Oh, I've had it.
Shot at a gardener.
When I woke up and I read this shit. Like, I read that LA Times article pretty much like first thing when I woke up with my coffee, and I I knew exactly what I was going to cover here.
Makes me wonder if they had an agenda that would involve, I don't know, white supremacy, something like that, that would cause.
I'm sorry. This is very serious, but the fact that he has to say white supremacy,
an anger at Muslims, and at the same time, people who might appear not to be citizens.
Josh Sherrard,
hey, got citizens.
police said the suspected.
I'm sorry. Every S word that guy said, I was on pins and needles, like I was listening to Biden again.
Shooters appeared to have
It's just like, oh god, here we go.
died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They were 17. They were 19. We were told. What does that say to you?
You know, the questions that we're going to have to answer concerning where to go from here is, were they involved in a larger operation? We're going to need to be digging into investigating their homes, their
Oh my god, now they're trying to they were part of an Antifa cell.
digital assets,
Fucking bro!
social media accounts, discords they may have been a part of. Wondering if they were
Literally investigating the Southern Poverty Law Center, but yeah, you know what? Yeah.
part of a larger organization or group, and wondering if this is just the first in a
What if they were? What if they were Proud Boys? Oh, would we not hear about it?
series of possible targeted attacks. Like Josh and Steve both pointed out, we don't see multiple shooters in these attacks very often. The vast majority of active shooters across the country for the last 25 years have been lone wolves. Is this part of a larger organization that we need to be concerned with? We need to rule that out as quick.
What? I was told that Taylor Robinson was brainwashed by the gays and the transes on Discord into doing what he did to Charlie Kirk allegedly.
As possible.
You're telling me that's not they're all lone wolves? Wait a minute, now I'm confused.
Especially when we're talking about this age group that is very, very susceptible to that radicalization.
So we are going to admit that it might have been their media diet.
As we've seen over the last several years.
Josh Campbell, how unusual is it when there are horrific mass shootings like this one? How unusual is it for there to be more than one shooter?
He just answered that. Oh my God. Quit paying this dude millions of dollars to ask a question that was already answered. Holy shit.
It's exceedingly rare.
I'm so glad that we are at this point where mainstream media is like, they are failing. Like, hands down failing. Like, this is why CNN even had to go to like their own subscription model.
I mean, we almost never see it.
Which nobody pays for.
Talk about the number of acts of violence that happen in this country involving firearms. Rarely do you see two people
Keeping it vague because they're cowards.
involved. Or
Oh no, this would be responsible journalism, but like the thing is, we've already seen the juxtaposition on how they would cover this if it was, again, a Christian church or a synagogue for that matter.
people are more trying to go toward the same target. We have seen incidents where people are firing at each other and they end up striking
Was he even listening? No.
people.
No.
Again, this is very rare. We've seen incidents. I'm in Los Angeles, over in the San Bernardino area several years ago. There was a terrorist attack at a government building that involved multiple fatalities. That involved a man and a wife, two actual shooters. But again, this is very rare. But this
How come we didn't hear about that the way that we did this?
does raise a lot of questions, a lot of work for law enforcement ahead. And just to break this down, I mean, we're seeing the images on what the scene looked like at the time whenever police were responding. But now that it's secure, they believe that there's no longer a threat. They believe the suspects have now been neutralized and are deceased. They have to work to try to identify
Neutralized.
them, but they also
Yeah, let's make it sound like the cops, the heroic police officers who did nothing.
have to
Literally nothing. They got there and they were just like, oh, it's over? So we got 1, 2, 3, and then the other two are over there. Okay, so how are we going to spin this? We secured the area. We are heroes.
scour that area to gather
Get that blue flag out, boys.
any potential evidence that they can. These two people aren't going to be prosecuted, obviously, but they will try to work to determine was there
Nah, we should. We should prosecute them anyway. We should read them their Miranda rights. Like,
someone else who might have
true, man.
been assisting in this. We're not saying that that's the case right now, but that is textbook, something that authorities want to determine. Is this a group of people that were inspired to conduct an act of violence targeting Muslims? Was this something much different? Was this, targeting specifically the people who were indeed injured and then killed? Again, a lot of questions. And then opening the aperture. We know
You mean the security guards who were outside the building with like full tactical gear? Like, these security guards were they were prepped for this. They weren't like no mall cops.
FBI is now on the scene. They would not only be assisting with the crime scene forensics, but the authorities have said they're going to treat this as a hate crime until it's not. If it turns out that these two men have some other connections elsewhere around the country, which we've seen in a lot of instances, the FBI would then be able to work with their resources.
Yeah, sure they would.
Around the country. And
there's a good chance that some of those resources actually work in the same kind of hate groups.
And the final thing I'll note is sometimes whenever you see an act of targeted violence, people are proud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about ICE. My bad.
They'll actually leave behind some type of note or communication, a so-called manifesto indicating why they did what they did.
Well, apparently it was on the gun.
They often don't, which obviously makes it much more difficult for authorities to try to get to that motive. There won't be a process.
Okay, so this was all right, 19 hour. All right. Hold on. We got updated reporting, not necessarily from CNN, but I feel like I should probably be fair.
Of these two individuals, but authorities still want to identify what was it that inspired this. Oftentimes that will involve looking at the electronic media of these individuals, if they have it, social media, if they have it. All of that is where you see federal investigators coming in. They work very closely with the various social media and online companies as well to try to gather information as quickly as they can. Again, to try to rule out, to make sure there isn't someone else out there who may have known what was about to happen.
Josh Gerard, what more are you hoping to learn about the motive for this? Obviously, law enforcement saying that they are presuming this is a hate crime until that is disproven.
The hate crime tag on this crime really doesn't change the way it's investigated. It may be changing the way that it's prosecuted down the road, but it's going to be investigated like
they're dead. We already made the joke. What?
Like any other attack.
What?
And that's exactly how it needs to be. Understanding the motive between these two teens, interviewing those friends and family, understanding where they came from. And then, as Josh Campbell just pointed out again, making sure that this isn't part of a larger organization. Is this a group that we need to be concerned with? Are there further attacks?
God forbid that they might know somebody with blue hair.
That we need to be concerned with. We also have to take a look at the way that this was carried out. We've got two shooters that didn't make it inside the building. Now, we don't know what their plan was, but most likely it was to do as much damage as possible, which means getting inside. But that little bit of resistance, having that security guard outside, seemingly prevented them from making it inside.
Oh, damn. Okay. Mom reported son missing. That's 14 hours. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this up. Got some new details.
We've just learned the names of the suspected teenage gunmen behind yesterday's deadly attack on the largest Islamic center in San Diego. This is video showing heavily armed federal agents.
Now let's see if anybody names the victims.
Searching the home of one of those teens late last night.
And that attack has prompted increased law enforcement presence at houses of worship across Los Angeles.
Eyewitness News reporter Monica de Anda live outside the Islamic Center of Southern California in Koreatown with new details. Monica.
Rachel, John, Tony, good morning. We'll get to how LAPD is increasing patrols here at our local houses of worship in just a second, but I want to start with this new information we are just learning. Authorities have told ABC News that they are investigating two teenagers, Kane Clark and Caleb.
I'm going to place a bet that the victims weren't white.
Vasquez as the suspected attackers in a shooting at an Islamic center in San Diego Monday. This is new video that we want to show you from overnight of the moment heavily armed officers entered a home connected to one of the teen shooters. 3 innocent people were killed after police say 2 teen gunmen opened fire on the Islamic Center of San Diego in broad daylight.
Again, the fact that they were teens.
This morning, we're expecting to...
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they were, well, one of them was at least what?
Learn more about the 3 people killed, but the Islamic Center of San Diego has already identified one of the victims as a security guard who worked there. The
And there it is.
center says Amin Abdullah, a devoted father of 8, put himself between the gunman and everyone inside, saving many lives.
It didn't matter who walked up, who came, like any random person could just walk up and he would greet them, make sure they're okay, whether they were homeless off the street looking for something, whether it was a child, an old elderly.
So he was just an out and out good dude. Fuck, man.
This morning he came to the car, not just to grab my son to class, but just make sure to say
Rest in peace.
hello to me.
Fuck.
And I didn't know it was gonna be
Like true hero. Like that's a true fucking hero.
We cannot
He protected all of these, like all of these kids. Like seriously, man.
let this go lightly. This is all because of hatred.
Yeah.
Because of hatred.
Yeah. Where is that propagated? Why aren't we doing something about this? It's almost like it's from our fucking government.
Installed in people's hearts.
Authorities say the two teen suspects, ages 17 and 18, carried out the attack. The suspects were later found nearby, dead, police say, from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. We are also learning anti-Islamic writings were found with the teen suspects and on one of the weapons, as well as a suicide note reportedly found.
Uh-oh.
As police continue their investigation, the Muslim community
Again, each one, I'm just picturing Cash's eyes getting bigger and bigger.
has been left feeling vulnerable and uneasy. Back here at home, LAPD issuing this statement that says in part, quote, currently there is no known threat to Los Angeles. We are providing extra patrols at mosques, Islamic centers, and all houses of worship. Right now, we are outside the Islamic Center of Southern California here in Los Angeles in Koreatown. And I can tell you there are already some people who have made their way inside of this house of worship. And we know that LAPD, again, is ramping up patrols. And at 2 o'clock this afternoon, we are expecting a news conference right here with the community and interfaith leaders. Reporting live in Koreatown, Monica de Anda, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Oh. All right.
Police are investigating a possible hate crime at the Islamic Center of San Diego. We know 3 people were killed. Police say the suspects died of self-inflicted gunshots. They were teenagers. This was the scene yesterday. Dozens of officers and SWAT teams swarmed the area, and you're watching as children were escorted to safety. In the aftermath of the chaos, an all too familiar message from city officials condemning the violence.
I'll tell you what got me. Watching the kids come running out. Just thankful to be alive.
This guy, like, we covered him yesterday. The way he pauses.
No one in our city should live in fear because of their identity, their faith, or their place of learning.
Anna Schechter is the head of the CBS News Crime and Public Safety Unit. She joins us now to explain what we do know. Anna, it is an all too familiar scene, but walk us through what we believe happened as events unfolded yesterday.
Well, the mother of one of those 2 suspects called police, worried her son was suicidal, saying he was missing, her vehicle was missing, multiple weapons missing from the home. She knew that he was with someone else wearing camouflage. And as she was on with police, she was piecing this together. So a threat warning went out already to local police a couple of hours before the shooting occurred. So once those 911 calls started coming in around 11:40 a.m. yesterday, local time, police rushed in. They had already been alerted to a threat. Thankfully, those 2 teenagers who opened fire did not strike any children, as you mentioned in that open.
They didn't get in.
However,
hey, look. It corrected.
3 men were killed, including a security guard. Those 2 suspects then left the mosque, started shooting elsewhere. Thankfully, another man survived, and then they took their own lives, according to our law enforcement sources.
And Anna, we mentioned that investigators are looking into this as a potential hate crime. Remarkable there that one of the suspects' parents was involved in trying to perhaps stop this from being worse. And you mentioned the security guard as well. So it sounds like all of this could have been much more deadly had it not been for the mother calling ahead of time and the security guard intervening.
What?
That's exactly right. And
no, because the mother, they weren't, they didn't connect the dots even while they were talking to her. What the fuck, CBS? Dude. It's getting so much worse with each report.
We've seen this increase in targeted attacks on houses.
Yeah, if your kid is suicidal, why are there several weapons in the home?
Houses of worship. And you've had an increased amount of security training for security personnel at these locations. That might have been the situation. We saw that a couple of months ago at a temple in Michigan. And one thing I want to note about the hate crime, investigators are looking at things they found in the vehicle, etchings that could be on weapons. They're already combing through electronic devices. So
the anti-Islamic stuff that they found in the back seat. What are you talking about, lady?
there's a reason
Jesus fucking Christ.
why they are calling this a potential hate crime. It's not just
Potential. It's a potential hate crime.
because the mosque was targeted. They're also reviewing writings.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out if they got the mosque confused with the church and they were actually going after Christians, and we need to protect Christians.
Electronic messages and the like. And so there's a little bit more.
God! Fuck! Electronic messages and the like.
To it, and that's
what a waste of space every single one of these motherfuckers are. Seriously, what is the point of all this? I could have literally done this reporting that they're doing just without any of this. I would just need the drone footage.
That's why.
What the fuck?
They're using this terminology according to my sources.
Yeah, and we're still within the
your sources
first 24 hours of this, so it's all still very early. But
acting like you're a journalist.
The climate is happening. There is a climate around this of Islamophobia that seems to be increasing, according to some groups.
We have no idea why that would be happening. We have absolutely no idea why that would be happening.
Tell us about that.
Well, since the February 28th, this latest round, the most serious round of a war with Iran, you have seen, watchdog groups have seen an increased amount of online chatter, anti-Islam hate speech. And
man, she really fucking walking around this one.
And you
just little tiptoes.
Always see this when world events come home. So this is typical. When we see conflict overseas, we see a spike in threats, rhetoric, and unfortunately, real world attacks.
All right, Anna Schechter, live for us here from New York. Anna, thank you.
Yeah, Legacy Media is she's actually like the perfect encapsulation of why Legacy Media is dying. And that entire like back and forth with them. I just all right, let's keep it going. Like I said, guys, this was going to be the majority of the show. Then I got Thomas Massey stuff, but we'll see if we get to that.
Our Joey Safchik is at a home in Claremont where investigators have been on the scene there for the last several hours now. You were in a holding pattern last time we spoke with you, Joey. What can you tell us here?
Monica, very much still in that holding pattern, that hurry up and wait
That was weird. Why did you have to do the graphic? Why not just cut right to her?
mentality here. San Diego police have been here
Someone is justifying their job.
for hours, as have we, sort of holding down the fort, monitoring the premise. This is where we believe Kane Clark, the 17-year-old shooter, lived with his family. We spoke to their next-door neighbors who say they waved at him as he drove off just this morning. They didn't suspect anything was awry, but as we learned from that press conference...
Everybody knows journalists aren't supposed to report the news. They're supposed to pretend that to be morally right, and they know and that they know things we don't know.
His mother, just shortly thereafter, reported him missing.
Hey, leave the intern alone.
Along with some of those weapons.
Right,
So you
all
can't
right.
see it from this vantage point, but there is a swelling presence here, not just of San Diego
Fair.
police anymore, but also of federal law enforcement agents representing the Joint Terrorism Task Force, which is comprised of several federal law enforcement agencies. You can see that militaristic looking truck over there. That we saw some
Militaristic looking truck.
folks
Just say police truck at this point. Oh my God.
with FBI gear.
Guys. Someone forgot to tell the reporter that we're not supposed to bring attention to the fact that we have a militarized police force.
Get out of that just a little while ago, but what they're doing here is they are waiting for the search warrant to be served, and they've been waiting, like I said, for many hours. It was maybe 2.5 hours ago that the SDPD lieutenant told me he was expecting it to be served any minute. Once they get that is when they will be able to go inside, search that house where, again, we believe the 17-year-old shooting suspect lived with his family. They also say they might be searching some vehicles here on this premise.
God,
And they are
if you're the family at that point, what you oh man, that's rough, because you don't want to get accused of like going in there and tampering or anything, but that's kind of fucked up when you know that it's coming and they're going to raid your house. It's like, can you just keep it to his room?
bracing certainly for a long night. They do say that the family has been completely cooperating, complying with them. They came out of the residence when they were asked to. They say they wrapped up a round of questions with them and they were able to release them. And they have to be pretty tight-lipped at this juncture about what that search warrant may entail. They couldn't tell me any details, but we will see if they're looking for any manifesto, any further anti-Islamic rhetoric, and of course those weapons, who they're registered to. We will be keeping our eyes peeled for all that information in the coming days. We want to make sure you hear from the neighbors first. Again, they say that they have known the suspected shooter his entire life. Take a listen.
You know, at our age, we're 86 and 89. And he's helped us bring in our groceries. They all have. They got me a cake when I turned 80. You know, we waved, say hi. They had a fire in their house. We got them flowers. I mean, you know, it's just been kind of one of those things. Nothing real personal, but it's just unbelievable. I just want to give her a hug. I mean, she's a mother, for crying out loud. I lost my son, so I know what she's going through. Oh, excuse me. I'm just so sad our country's going through all this.
Did you vote for it? I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy, but seriously, no. I've been hearing more and more of that from a bunch of these old fucks that are just talking about how our country's just, I feel like we've lost our country, and I thought that Donald Trump would bring us back to some semblance of greatness. He said he'd make America great again, so I voted for him, and I've also made sure that I've been vigilant in hating the trans community and everybody that I've been told that I'm supposed to hate. And now I'm just now it's attacking. Now it's hitting me personally.
Heavy day all around. And again, this is a very typical San Diego neighborhood. We're just a couple of blocks off of Claremont Mesa Boulevard near the 805. We spoke to another neighbor who lives about a block away who says this is a very diverse community, a very friendly community. And it sounds a little trite at this point, but he said this is one of those times where you see this on the news and you don't expect it to happen to you. And it's
called it
so surreal when this scene with crime tape is in your very neighborhood. So again, we are waiting.
Man, she's selling this
for that search warrant to be served, and then everyone is buckling in for what's expected to be a long night here. Back to you.
Man, she's still like a fresh-faced journalist that actually might feel for these people.
Is an incredibly sad day for all
These two are just like fucking rookie
of San Diego. Joey Savchik, thank you so much.
You can't have empathy and do newscasting. Come on. Didn't they teach you anything in journalism? In journalism school? Or journalism. Actually, it's class. All right. Let's get to the Laura Loomer bit here. All right. So you guys might have seen this. I know that the Surfs was going back and forth with her. It was kind of funny. While I was reading this, I saw that the Surfs retweeted it. God, I wish I could make this bigger. All right, so Laura Loomer gave us her 2 cents on this, and got all fuffa going on. The mosque was supposedly shot up. The mosque that was supposedly shot up. Just remember, the people who attend this mosque want us all to be Cade. We will be told that they are such amazing people. I'm not advocating for violence. I condemn violence. I'm just showing you how evil this mosque is and always has been. It should be raided by ICE and the FBI. This was in response to, we are horrified to see Layla Ali's wife of Taha Hassaneh. She posted something that I can't show here. It was a picture of the Israeli Star of David being used as like a shuriken and going through the necks of a bunch of babies. Yeah, it was yeah, even for like that, I was like, oh, okay. I can understand why I can't show it. And then this guy, I retweeted him. Laura, your posts are inciting violence against Muslims. I urge you to lawyer up because if they find out that the shooters were fans of yours, you're finished. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. No, just a reminder that this is somebody that is not only close to our president, literally, she blows our president on the reg because, you know, we used to be mad about stuff like that. You remember when we were mad about like the president getting blowgies from people that weren't, or like from a person that wasn't his wife? Oh my God, that's a quaint time, isn't it? Isn't it? Holy shit. Now we just accept it. Like, it's just like, oh, yeah. That's how he's supposed to be. You know what? Yeah, he could grab. He told us that he could just go in and grab him by the P word. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I guess we could totally go along with that and just we're accepting it as a social norm. Well, this this little shitstir warning a civilized person to lawyer up. Oh man, this guy. So now people are pissed off at Junior. Wow. Yeah, not gonna go through the replies on that one. Mostly because that's likely gonna be a racist cesspool. I mean, it's what she cultivates, let's be real. But yeah. Laura Loomer out here just literally calling all Muslims fucking evil. Well, that's a creepy screen cap. Yeah, right. Give me a second. Let me add this. This is heartbreaking. Be prepared, but guys, just remember, this is who she called evil. She literally said like they were evil and that they were doing like that this mosque deserves to get raided. Yep. This is who she thinks needs to be raided.
I felt a bit scared. My legs were shaking in my hands. And my head was like hurting me a lot. I felt like a rock. I saw a bunch of bad stuff. Before I came, like they were sitting on the floor doing morning meeting, and we all heard the gunshot, and we thought it was like a tray smacking the ground. Yeah, and then all of that happened. I heard like a bunch of
This kid's got some fucking composure.
bad stuff like gunshots, and plus, I went inside the closet with my whole class. We heard like 12 or like 16 gunshots. And then the SWAT team said, if you open up, and they opened the door. And then the police, like the SWAT team, they kicked open the door and they went inside. They told us to put our hands up and form a big line. And then we saw the second graders form a line. We were like walking
It's really neat when you talk to your kids versus letting them watch a screen all day.
inside the musalla. Yeah. All of us.
I was actually going to make a comment on this where this kid looks like he might actually be younger than my nephew. And the way my nephew's speech patterns are just, it's sad.
We saw the the sheikh's house, the sheikh's apartment inside the mosque, and like it was broken down. The gold stuff is broken on the floor, and then we went down. We went from the hudud station, and then we saw a bunch of bad stuff. People laying down and bad stuff. I felt a bit scared. My legs were shaking in my hands, and my head was like hurting me a lot. I felt like a rock. The teachers and the kids were like shaking, sad and stuff. And when
All right, I'm going to be honest. It's a little weird that they keep doing these cuts.
the guy kicked the door, all of them were crying.
Holy crap, those kids. Yeah, they saw some, like, again, They went through it, man. And just remember that the guys didn't even get inside. Like, this should bring it back to, like, the ones that we've lost, the ones that truly, like, this should kind of reinvigorate us to be a little outraged about the fact that we have just normalized our schools being fucking targets and we don't do anything about it. Listen, you guys know, like most you guys know, and if you guys don't know, you might learn something here. I'm a 2A guy. I'm you know what? I am a 2A leftist. I think that, we can't just let a whole bunch of idiots have the pew-pews. Also, I respect firearms and, practice discipline like a mofo. Like, again, the fact, like, Tinkerbell said it perfectly, where how did these parents still have those weapons in the house? What is wrong with them? At that point, you get a storage unit, or you guys, like, I'm not sure if you know this, you can get a locker at like your local place, like your firing range. So what is happening there? Oh, that kind of 2A, not two-way, 2A, the Second Amendment. I whatever. Sorry. But yeah, but I, with that, believe in comprehensive gun reform. I think that it's insane that we don't have more background checks. I think it's insane that we don't have waiting periods. I think it's insane that we also, like, we do this thing where we think that we have the right to buy these weapons of war, which I don't know, guys. Like, there are some that I'm just like, there's literally no need for this. Like, what are we doing? So yeah, it might sound like I'm conflicted on that one, but I'm not. I think that's pretty freaking easy. It's like, no, I think that we do need to put some stopgaps and make sure that we protect our future, our children and our future. Weird for me to say that. It's almost like I care more than some MAGA. All right, guys. So now we got real reporting on this. Let's get to it. Hey, the GOAT.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. In California, 2 teenage gunmen fatally shot 3 people on Monday at the Islamic Center of San Diego, the largest mosque in San Diego County. Among the dead was a security guard, now identified as Amin Abdullah, a father of 8, who police say played a pivotal role in saving lives, particularly children's lives.
I want to 1.25 this, but guys, we're a practice discipline.
The suspects, aged 17 and 19, were found dead from apparent self-inflicted gunshot wounds in a car near the scene. Police are investigating the attack as a hate crime. Law enforcement officials told CNN hate speech was scrawled on one of the weapons. A suicide note that contained writings about racial pride was also found.
I'm not even trying to make the joke, but I think that Kash Patel was like,
according to officials.
damn it. We can't spin this.
The Council on American Islamic Relations noted the attack comes as anti-Muslim bias complaints reach their highest level on record, with 8,683 complaints filed nationwide. This is Taha Hussein, the imam and director of the Islamic Center of San Diego.
My community is mourning. This is something that we have never expected to take place. But at the same time, the religious intolerance and the hate, unfortunately, that exists in our nation is unprecedented. All of us, we are responsible for spreading the culture of tolerance, the culture of love. All of us, we are responsible from whatever position we have as parents, as media people, as elected officials, as law enforcement, as religious leaders. All of us, we can do something to protect our nation, to protect our society. And please, I have one request to the media. Stop sharing the picture of the victims Let the families mourn. Let them pray, as we do always at the Islamic Center of San Diego.
Yeah, this is like such a weird juxtaposition because, like, again, we've always been like inundated with just, look, here's the shooter, Adam Lanza, like all of them. They, like, the second that they found out who it was, they posted those pictures and they did like comprehensive fucking background searches or like background investigations into who these people were. And again, in the media right away. These guys, no, we don't even have a picture. Not, and like one of them is a fucking just a dude, just a dude, 18 years old. You're just a dude at that point. No fucking protections at that. Like, what are we doing by not acknowledging that our media is playing with this one in a way that is so fucked up that it's kind of like it is shining a light on just how obvious it is. And I'm glad. I know that it's kind of fucked up, but it's I'm glad that they're at least stupid enough to not play us in a good, like in a effective way, you know?
House of worship, it's not a battlefield. Come on. People come to the mosque to pray.
Like, this one's kind of falling apart. And I think, like I said before, it's because of just everything being so obviously kind of like, I'm not going to use the flag term, but you know what I mean?
To socialize, to celebrate, to enjoy their time together. Muslims and non-Muslims alike, everyone have been always welcomed. Our doors are always welcomed. We never ask people when they show up at the door of the Islamic Center, we never ask them whether you are a Muslim or not, who are you? Because everyone is welcome. So let's do our best to spread this culture of love and tolerance and sympathy for the sake of this nation, for the sake of the future generation.
That was Taha Hussein, the Imam and director of the Islamic Center of San Diego, attacked on Monday. Police said they'd begun.
Jesus, I'm sorry, Amy. I got to do it. It's daunting.
On a search for the two teenage gunmen 2 hours before the attack, after the mother of one of the shooters called police. This is San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall.
I tried my best.
Your son was suicidal?
Oh, yeah. With this guy, too. This guy's pauses. No way.
And she began to share information that several of her weapons were missing. Her vehicle was missing, in addition to her son. She also said that her son was with a companion, and that they were dressed in camo.
Dude, okay, so his pauses, like, this is what's where I'm calling it out. Those pauses are to make sure that he doesn't say anything that would piss off the FBI. Because they're just like, because I'm sure that he talked to the FBI before he went and did this press conference, and they were just like, do not give any information that might make it seem like these guys were tied to some, other group that, wasn't, not leftists. We want to make sure that, that we take away the political motive side of this.
That is not.
We want to play dumb on this one. Like, we don't know why they would have done such a thing.
Consistent with what we would typically see from somebody that is suicidal.
That's the San Diego Police Chief.
Oh, it's because he's literally thinking in real time, like, hamana.
We're joined now by Linda Sarsour, Palestinian-American Muslim organizer, friend of the Imam at the Islamic Center of San Diego, author of We Are Not Here to Be Bystanders, and co-founder of Empower Action Fund. Linda, thanks so much for joining us again, but under these incredibly sad circumstances, the guard has just been named who was killed by the gunmen themselves apparently dead of self-inflicted wounds. Can you talk about what...
Why only the one guard, though?
You heard, yes.
That's a little odd to me, is the fact that they're only naming the one guard when 3 people got shot and died.
Yesterday, and your reaction as it was unfolding. You're a friend of the Imam.
I immediately saw a tweet on X that said that there was a shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego, and I immediately texted Imam Taha Hussein, who's an old friend of mine, and I said, "Are you okay?" And he immediately called me back and said that we are in a lockdown right now. There's been an active shooting. At that moment, he had not known about all the fatalities, but they did know about Brother Amin Abdullah, who is the armed security guard of the mosque and a father of 8 and a wonderful, incredible human being that I also had the honor
8?
Privilege of meeting myself.
Oh my
There are also
God,
2 other adult males that were also killed in the shooting. One of them is Brother Mansour, also
Seriously, guys, like, oh my
known
God.
as He is an elder,
That family.
a
Fuck.
caretaker of the mosque, also was running the Islamic bookstore at the mosque, and just a beloved.
If it's for the, yeah, so if they're doing it for the sake of the privacy, cool.
Kind of uncle in the
I
community.
understand
Another
that.
one
I just wish they would kind of communicate that a little bit better.
is Brother Nadid. Brother Nadid is a neighbor of the mosque, a congregant, someone who is heavily involved in the mosque itself. It's just a very devastating experience. There was also about 200 kids in a pre-K to 3rd grade Islamic school that is a part of the Islamic Center of San Diego, who are also on lockdown, hiding under, hiding under desks and closets. And if it wasn't for Brother Amin Abdullah and these brothers that came out to put their bodies on the line, we could have had many more fatalities, and many of them could have been small children in this country. So even though the children are safe, thank God, they are forever going to live with this trauma of knowing that their mosque was attacked because they were Muslims.
I was watching as parents wept also, talking about how Amin had saved their children, that the kids, the first thing they look forward to going to school in the morning is seeing him there.
That's right. That's who he was, and this was his job. As a matter of fact, a few days before this horrific shooting, he had made a post on social media, on Facebook, and said something like, a lot of people look for fame, they look for financial stability, they look kind of for the worldly things. But for him, he just wanted to be a good Muslim, and he wanted to meet his Lord as pure as he was when he was a baby. And that is his last message that people saw on social media. Imam Taha, also the director of the Islamic Center, who was in the building when this happened, he was on the 2nd floor, is an incredible ally. He's someone who is very well known in the immigrant rights movement, in the San Diego economic justice movement. He's often at many rallies. This is a mosque that has opened its doors to the community. They literally have open mosque day, where anyone in the community can show up to the mosque, and they are opened. They are welcomed with open arms. They have film screenings. They do like community events. They do festivals. Like, this is the epitome of a mosque that shows our true values as Muslims in community and in solidarity. So it's just devastating. And no house of worship should have to ever experience this.
You were with Imam Taha Hussein just a few weeks ago.
Imam Taha is a national leader. He is part of many of the movement work that I do. He's someone that we go to as an Islamic scholar to help guide us through the social justice and work that we do. And we were in Dearborn just a few weeks ago. He was there as a mentor to many Muslim organizers in this country. And he's someone that I've spoken on many panels with. We do the Muslim Student Association conference in California. Just someone who's always at the right place at the right time, and very encouraging, and of women leadership in our community, of youth leadership in our community. And so it's just devastating to see that his mosque was targeted as someone who has poured so much into our community and movements.
Can you talk about what you understand the mom of one of the alleged shooters? Kane Clark was, I believe, 17. He was with Caleb Vasquez. These 2 now dead teenagers have been identified. How the
Again, not a single pic of any of them.
mom got in touch with the police hours before. I think she had a cache of weapons, but she saw her guns gone and her car gone, and her kid was dressed in camo with the ammo. And as the police chief said, even though he had left a suicide note, that is highly suspect when they're putting on camo, obviously.
I mean, we can't deny, Amy, that there's been increased political rhetoric against Muslims in this country, and the ways in which Muslims are treated. Even after this horrific shooting, right-wing MAGA accounts, some of them verified, some of them high-profile, have begun conspiracy theories or have actually blamed the mosque itself for their own shooting that happened there. It is absolutely horrific to see the ways in which elected officials, anywhere from Randy Fine to the members of Congress who have started this, what they call the Sharia-free caucus, people are not held accountable for their anti-Muslim hate. We are
no, not at all.
Anti-Muslim hate.
Again, the fact is, like, we have anti-BDS laws, but we can't you can just go shit on the Muslim community all fucking day.
Is one of the few types of bigotry in this country.
It's like, again, so fucking obvious what they're trying to do.
You don't lose your job. There's no consequences for it. And here comes a 17-year-old who is probably brought into all this propaganda. He's wrote a suicide note. The officials are saying that there was hate rhetoric scrolled on the weapons, which also tells me how long were your guns missing? How long did it take him to scroll, hateful, rhetoric on guns? Also, how is the mother storing her guns? Did you just leave them around? Was there no key? Was there no way for this this to be protected so that your child does not go out and kill innocent people at a mosque. So there's something very, strange that's happening here. But I will say this about the 17-year-old and also a 19-year-old. I'm sad, Amy, for them. I really am sad. They're too young for this type of hate. And the fact that it drove them to the point where they went to a mosque and they shot innocent people and could have shot children. I mean, the fact that there's an Islamic school, if it wasn't for Brother Amin and the brothers that interfered, we literally could have had dozens of children who would have been literally shot and killed. And the thing is, we've seen this before. We saw it in Sandy Hook. We saw it in Uvalde. And so for me, I'm just like, it's an issue around, let's end this anti-Muslim hate. Let's make sure that there are consequences for people who propagate this hate, for media outlets who propagate this hate. And also, let's get some sensible gun reform. How did this mother get the, were they registered guns? How was she storing them at home? How did your son wear, where did your son get cameo from? Like wearing, I mean, the whole thing it just seems like, it just doesn't make sense.
During a televised news conference on Monday, a woman disrupted the news conference just as San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria was beginning to speak. She accused him of emboldening what she called Zionist propaganda.
I just searched Kane Clark. It's nothing but Dean Cain pictures. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I shouldn't be laughing this hard at it, but literally, so we got Caitlin Clark, and then we have Dean Cain, 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 Dean Cain.
Your leadership, our Muslim brothers and sisters have been talking to you for how long? You have to listen to them, Todd. Just like you did with ICE. It was golden ICE, golden science propaganda, and you'll keep doing it as long as it lines up.
Holy shit.
So after that, the mayor began speaking, but she referred to him as Todd, which was his first name. Linda Sarsour, I don't know if you could make out what she was saying, but if you could respond.
She was saying basically to him that this is that you're part of the problem, that this is because you've emboldened this hateful rhetoric. Like she was basically holding him accountable. Mayor Todd, in the course of genocide, has condemned Palestinian organizers. He condemned Palestinian students. He would never show up to any events led by Palestinian American or Muslims that were related to the genocide in Gaza. And he continued to vilify folks that organized around the genocide. And he is someone who
fuck that guy.
Has aligned himself with right-wing Zionists and others. So,
and now he wants to come out here and just be like, we have no place for hatred.
I think, again, who you ally with as a leader of a city, right, like San Diego, tells me where you stand. If you're going to be willing to
so they are probably white. No, one of them is white.
Stand with people who are condemning, vilifying, dehumanizing.
Kane Clark, I'm going to go out on a limb. What?
Who are standing up for justice for the Palestinian people. And you're part of the larger problem that we have here, which is reaffirming anti-Muslim, anti-Palestinian, and anti-Arab hate. You know this, Amy, in this country. People don't know the difference between a Muslim, Arab, or a Palestinian. And that's the problem here. And so all these things are conflated. In the past, this mosque has been targeted during genocide by right-wing media. There was a New York Post article that just literally got published yesterday after horrific.
I mean, to be fair, she's the one who said that. She literally did say like how they were, too young for this, that they were conditioned by hate.
Shooting that basically.
So, I mean,
he said the shooting that happened at an Islamic
center. She was the one that kind of like turned them a little bit into victims.
With a history of controversy. Like they're instead of reporting the news, they're telling us that there's a controversial mosque here. What does that have to do with what is happening to these people?
The far-right political activist, Trump ally Laura Loomer, posted a message on X on Monday reading, "The mosque that was, quote unquote, supposedly shot up today. Just remember the people who attend this mosque want us all to be killed. We will be told they are such amazing people. I'm not advocating for violence. I condemn violence. I'm showing you how evil this mosque is and always has been. It should be raided by ICE and the FBI," she tweeted. In a follow-up tweet, Laura Loomer called for the DHS to, quote, "deport every Muslim in America back to the Middle East," unquote. Your response.
I swear to God. You know what's fucked up? We live in a time where she's more likely to get her way than we are for them to have protections.
Linda.
And this is exactly what's across the entire internet. That's it. This is the conspiracy theories blaming us for the tragic and horrific shooting that has happened at this mosque. And this is the kind of rhetoric that's acceptable. No one else, Amy, would be able to say something like Laura Loomer about any other religious community. Again, for us, it's acceptable. Her post.
Yeah, like I said, try saying that about Israel.
Won't get taken down. There will be no consequences for Laura Loomer. But here we have 3 adult men, beloved in their community, in an incredible mosque where their neighbors love them. There are people that have come out and spoken about them, pastors, rabbis, those that have visited this mosque and know that this mosque is a community center. It's a beloved place. I've been there so many times, Amy. It's so incredible. It's one of the most diverse mosques in all of America, from the African continent, from South Asia, from the Arab world, from converts in the United States of America to Latino Muslims. They have Spanish-speaking programs. I mean, it's just an incredibly beautiful place. They welcome the formerly incarcerated. This is the kind of people that they are. Imam Taha is one of the most incredible leaders we have in this country, and it's just despicable that we allow this kind of rhetoric, especially after a horrific shooting.
Thanks for watching Democracy.
Yeah, imagine if she said that about Jewish people. That's what I mean. Like, I hate to go like with the obvious observation here, but here actually this is important. Let's the family of Amin Abdullah has kind of put out his information because I think that they want to honor him as the hero that he is. So quickly, I want to focus on this. All right, so his name is Amin Abdullah. I think it's Amin. Yeah, so Amin Abdullah. He is the security guard who gave his life to protect the children, stop the terror attack at the Islamic Center in San Diego. This man died a hero and should still be alive. Yep, and would be if it weren't for the rising hatred against Muslims. R.I.P. And here's the clip of the citizen against the mayor.
Your leadership! Our Muslim brothers and sisters have been talking to you for how long? You have to fucking listen to them, Todd. Just like you did with ICE. It was rolled in ICE. It was rolled in science propaganda. And you'll keep doing it as long as it lines your fucking pockets, won't it? Show something. Worse approval rating than a fascist dictator with shit in his hands.
There was weird music behind there. Not sure if it was like actually embedded in the video or not. Amy with the only respectable coverage. Yeah, no, for real too. After all the coverage that we went through, everybody's sitting here playing these games. And I guess that's where I'm going a little crazy with this, is the fact that it's so obvious. It is so obvious what they are doing. It's so obvious what they're not doing. You know, when we're not getting the pictures of these guys, like, come on, like, they're dead. And they committed atrocious fucking crimes. Like, what are we doing here? We don't want a copycat. Yeah, now you care. Every other single one. Yeah, you post their pictures right away. Like Taylor Robinson, same thing. Like, it's just right away with these motherfuckers. Like, no, I'm not buying that, and I'm sorry. Like, I actually believed that before, where I was like, yeah, we shouldn't be like glorifying the shooters. We should be, doing more coverage about who the victims were. And I still kind of believe that, but I don't know. Like, now this really is kind of making me rethink that a little bit, where I'm just like, well, okay, so then we let them do this, where they're just going to bury it because these guys don't fit the narrative that they want every time that there's a violent crime, specifically a mass shooting right now. I mean, dude, this is where I also go crazy about, like, Alex Jones just kind of disappearing from the limelight on these issues. You know, obviously he doesn't really want to talk about, speculate about shootings as much for reasons. But at the same time, bro, like, your whole brand was about calling out false flags, calling out the obvious fucking manipulation of our government. Just nothing, except for, I think that Donald Trump's out there trying to fix everything in the globalists. Absolute, trying to get rid of the jihadists. Like, now he's literally turned into just a propagandistic fucking mouthpiece for the right wing. And he's got nothing else to offer. Like, this is why, honestly, he's going to fail with his comeback. And this is also why he is kind of like just not relevant in the slightest post his InfoWars buyout. Wonder what Rogan has to say. Not. Yeah, right. The modern philosopher that is Joe Rogan. All right. Let's get into the final bits here. Do I care about this? I guess I do. Yeah, it's election night. Let's do this. They're desperate for it to actually be elected. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, Jet. Yeah, Jet. I appreciate that. Here. They're desperate for it to be a leftist so they can call for a word YouTube will censor me for. Yep. No, for real. No, that's exactly what they wanted. Dude, think back to the church attack. Yeah, this person had a bunch of trans stuff. And then just you do a cursory look at like the evidence that they released, and you're just like, that's not just a bunch of trans stuff, dude. Like that guy, or that person was going through it. Like that was certified crazy. And I'm just gonna say it like that. They were nuts. Sometimes we just got to be able to say that shit too. Some people fucking nuts is nuts. And we need to kind of be more aware of that. Like for a country that is so aware of the mental health, and then you got dipshits like RFK going out there like, we need to get everybody off of the antidepressants because it's messing with their brain chemistry. Yeah, just wait. You want to talk about fucking messing with brain chemistry? Like this asshole is literally anti-medicine, unless it's I'm gonna guess somebody that's paying him because he also like ivermectin. Apparently, there we go. Ivermectin will fix it, right? Anyway, not going into that. But our next story here does involve Thomas Massey. I think that he's about to lose his job, and I think that we're going to. Now see TYT going like, we need Thomas Massey. We need to get behind Thomas Massey. We love Thomas Massey. He has absolutely no power. Now we need to go remind everybody about the leftists that are in power, how much we hate them and how much we love Thomas Massey. If you guys are wondering why I'm talking about this stuff, yesterday I covered a lot of TYT going hard at AOC. And I'll just say in that one, it's because Anna got into a Twitter beef and now she just doesn't like her. She just doesn't like her because, she got bodied by AOC on Twitter.
One of the most watched races in Kentucky.
I don't understand why all these local news channels have their volume just completely at the lowest levels.
He is for the state's 4th congressional district. It is now the most expensive congressional race in U.S. history.
Now, Trump-backed Republican Ed Galbraith is looking to unseat Thomas Massey, and Massey says that this race is a key test for American politics.
The whole nation is watching this race. The whole world is watching.
Oh, he's so fucked. He's so fucked.
To see if
he's at a fucking general store.
Seat can be bought. President Trump would not be doing this if they were confident that they were winning, and they're worried that I'm going to win.
Meanwhile, on the other side, the president sent Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to help Galbraith's campaign.
When President Trump needs backup, Massey wants to debate process. When the movement needs unity, especially at the biggest moments, Massey's willing to vote with Democrats.
Like I said, guys,
Recent poll.
When we see them doing this just so fucking blatantly,
Polling shows Galbraith does better with senior citizen voters.
just remember who your actual opposition is. Like that's kind of where I'm just gonna I'm not gonna beat the dead horse on this, but just remember they're the opposition.
Having the advantage with younger Republicans.
Also, does anybody in chat know? I could look this up, but I'm gonna just go with you guys for a second. Does anybody know if this is an open primary where can Democrats vote for Thomas Massey in this?
And WHAS 11 is excited to bring you election coverage you can count on. Join our very...
Because at this point, I would actually say that, yeah, if you're a Democrat and you live in Kentucky, go vote for Massey.
Doug Profit with the biggest and best political team in Kentucky. We'll have live reports from the campaigns and our longtime political experts, Iris Wilbur, Glick, and David Tandy.
Because realistically, the other part about this is he lives in a fucking, he's part of a district that's deep red.
We are streaming live from 6:30 to 8 tonight and prepare to go longer.
Yeah, we're going to watch a little bit of that.
Join us again on the WHS 11 app.
Someone Google it, not it. Well, now that I'm done with that, now I can. All right, here. Let's find out. Since not it is Kentucky an open primary state. Closed primary shit. Yeah, independents cannot vote in it. It's a partisan primary. Yeah. Well, too bad. That sucks. Yeah, you know what? Now the question is, how is that even fair? As an independent voter, you don't get to partake in the primaries. That's fucked up. You know, I would challenge that constitutionally. Because I don't think that makes a lot of sense, to be completely real. As much as I understand how carpetbagging works, right? And that could totally be the case. Where that, you know, like in Illinois here, where you just get a bunch of right-wingers that, like, essentially help get the worst candidate in. Like in my district, with Kat Abu-Ghazaleh, it probably would have been a lot more people showing up to vote for a Dan Biss. Even though that is what happened, as far as just like, you know, the Democratic closed primary, that is just how it went. But I think it would have been a blowout at that point. All right, we got some more MSN coverage on this. Here we go. CBS, man, CBS is just taking over the YouTube algorithm in the news.
It's primary day in multiple states, and one race in particular is drawing a whole lot of attention. Republican Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky is a frequent critic of President Trump, and now he is literally fighting for his political life because of big money donations from the president's wealthiest allies. Ed O'Keefe is following all of this in Kentucky. Ed, good morning to you. The poll numbers do not look good for Mr. Massie this morning.
Gail, good to see you. You know, after recent wins over fellow Republicans he considers his enemies in Indiana and Louisiana, Kentucky now is the latest stop on the president's political retribution tour. And as you mentioned,
Yeah, I'm glad that, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene stayed in Congress to be a thorn in Trump's side and to help us not fall into authority. Oh, that's right. She quit.
because of big spending by big outside groups, this is now the most expensive House primary in American history.
Massie's the worst congressman in the history of our country.
President Trump on Monday from the Oval Office, once
Whatever. Just the blatant corruption that we're just all like, yeah.
again denouncing Republican Congressman Thomas Massie.
Always voting against Republicans and good values. So,
by the way, guys, this is why I've had my attitude on leftist infighting lately. Is like, just seeing this shit happen. That's why all I can do is laugh.
Get rid of
it's so fucked up, and I'm like, all right, guys, if that's what you want to spend your fucking time doing, fine.
Thomas Massie.
The president and Massie have sparred for years on policy, but most recently on two things especially sensitive to Trump: the Jeffrey Epstein investigation and the war with Iran.
He's tweeted.
Yeah, the two things he's most unpopular on.
Probably, 8 or 10 times in the last 72 hours. He's literally losing sleep over this race because he's in with both feet.
In a sign of how much the White House wants Massie gone, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth traveled to northern Kentucky Monday to support the congressman's challenger, former Navy SEAL Ed Gallrein.
Think about where we are in history right now. And you're having the Secretary of War coming here to little old Kentucky to see you today. Is that something?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hegseth made a stop earlier in the day at a military base.
As I said, can I, like, as a Chicagoan, can we pull all of our fucking funding for these red states? I'm done.
In Kentucky, but said he was appearing with Gallrein on his personal time.
Too often, Thomas Massie has acted like his job is to stand apart.
How does he have personal time? Why the fuck does he have any personal time? You're the leader of the fucking Pentagon in a wartime. What the fuck? Can we? What the fuck? Can we have the right amount of outrage at some of this shit? Like, just as a country? I don't care what your fucking politics are. That's fucked up. Our gas prices are insane. And this motherfucker's out there like, we got to make sure that there's nobody opposing this president that's totally cratering our country.
The movement that President Trump leads instead of strengthening
Cool.
it.
You don't see
We fucking deserve it, guys. I'm just going to say it. America deserves its fucking downfall.
Secretary of War to Kentucky during a
Hey, he's smiling about it too. He's just kind of like, it is what it is.
war. If you think your candidate is up 10 points, that's what you do when you realize your whole campaign is imploding.
Pep said calmly.
This contest across a district that stretches from the suburbs of Louisville to northeastern parts of the state is now the most expensive House primary race in U.S. history, with more than $32 million spent, mostly by pro-Israel organizations and groups aligned with the president attacking Massey.
Mostly pro-Israel orgs? No shit.
They tried to buy my vote for 14 years, and it was never for sale. Now they're trying to buy a seat here in Kentucky.
Kentucky Republicans today are also choosing their candidate to run to succeed the retiring Senator Mitch McConnell. There are also primaries today in Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, and Pennsylvania. Nate, if it's Tuesday, they're voting somewhere.
All right, Ed. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think that, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, the more and more that I keep thinking about this shit and the more and more I'm exposed to these right-wing primaries and just like the blatant corruption of the Trump administration. Yeah, my interest in micromanaging the Democratic Party, the left, contingent in the Democratic Party, aka AOC. Let's be real. Yeah, I'm done. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm not playing the game where we hyperfixate on like the bad shit. Like, dude, the Graham Plantner shit. I actually just went through this here. You know what? Fuck it, I'll pull this up. Where is my reply? There we go. I know that I was not the only one to reply to this. I saw that Christina actually was the one that originally reposted this. Gotta say, Christina's Twitter game. Shout out to Christina from Christina's Corner here on this space, and also Cosmopolitics on Twitch. Like I said, when it comes to Twitter, it's fucking damn near inspirational. All right, so this guy, Magdi Jacobs, he's so dumb, and I'm over this shit. So in 2019, 7 years ago, when he was 34 years old, Graham Plantner logged into Reddit and posted a response of a video of an American soldier being shot by the Taliban. Plantner wrote, "This video never gets old. Dumb motherfucker didn't deserve blah, 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 blah. Poor marksmanship on the Taliban. Blah, 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 blah." I don't really care about the actual tweet. Like, realistically, not a great look from Plantner, but also, I'm just going to say it. I don't care. Okay. So let me get to the bottom of this. So, yeah, this guy wrote a book about why you shouldn't vote for Plantner, right? And then I just popped in and said, time for you to disengage from politics. What's the end goal here? Elect Collins and let fascism win? I'm getting real tired of teaching lessons that mean nothing while we let the right pilfer our country. And I hold to that. Because recently I kind of got into it with somebody about Graham Plantner that was on the left, where I was just like, okay, so you're saying that his primary challenger was a better candidate? And they're like, no, we need better candidates than Graham Plantner. I'm like, okay, so in your made up perfect world where we can just snap our fingers and better candidate just appears, that might work. But we live in something called reality, where in politics, you're going to have to choose the lesser of two evils. You're going to have to, not just two evils sometimes. Sometimes, I know, even with the two-party system, sometimes it is like, oh, well, I mean, I do have this independent guy. I got the Green Party. Like, we do have choices. Like, fuck, you could go for libertarians even. Like, I know we're not Brazil, but I also keep pointing out how Brazil somehow, with like the 90 parties that they have, always come back to the like right-left, cohort of things where it's like, it's almost like, you are either kind of like, a leftist or you're kind of a right winger. Like, do you care more? Are you a selfish cunt that cares more about yourself and than actually like furthering and progressing your society? Or are you a leftist that's what you focus on? You focus on creating a better world for those around you, even if, you don't get to necessarily see it. The hope is that he doesn't Fetterman it. All right, so we're just going to do this thing. Number one, why is it called Fettermaning when it's not called Joe Mansioning? Like, what's up with that? Dude, I'm going to say something very unpopular. John Fetterman had a fucking stroke that broke his goddamn brain, and he came out the other side a right-winger. And we also we were sitting there playing decorum games where it's like nobody called it out. Nobody actually said he was unfit for office because that might be, it might actually be a little insensitive. We don't want to go after stroke victims. It's like, listen, I have all the sympathy in the world for anybody that goes through a stroke, but I'm also going to say when they are an elected official, maybe, just maybe, if they cannot have, like, if they don't pass the same cognition test that they passed before, or just a cognition test in general, or cognitive test, cognition, then maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't, have them there. But this is also where I'm not going to play this game. Like, it was the same thing that I did this with Kat Abu Ghazali. So now we're just going to play into the psyop that is John Fetterman, because that's my other take on this as well, is that it's too convenient that we're all traumatized by John Fetterman to the point where we would call out somebody like Graham Plattner, who on paper and just in substance seems like a real ass guy that's about to fucking have some major effects on our politics. But no. We can't show up for that. So Susan Collins, let's just go with the fucking status quo, Susan Collins. Because you know who that'll teach? The Dems. That'll teach those Democrats that they need to run progressive leftist candidates. Fuck. Sorry. He was sus on Israel pre-stroke, though. Yeah. Okay. Somehow still got elected over. Oh, that's right. Who was his opposition? Dr. Oz? Oh. So, you can be mad at a candidate and then just make sure that you're prepared to get him out, but did not have the speaking ability that Plattner has. Okay. Listen. If you have an election and it's literally between, and this is going to go to the blue no matter who bullshit, but realistically, if it's between somebody that can beat that right-wing candidate and you don't show up, disengage from politics. Because at that point, what are you doing? Why are you interested in like being part of like this news cycle all the time, but then just not admitting that it's like, okay, like, I'm not really going to affect change. Like, honestly, the protest vote bullshit. I could probably do hours on protest voting and why it's bullshit. Like, it doesn't fucking work. It really doesn't, and we don't put our energies into actually electing like the good candidates. Like, this is where I would say, like, with Plattner also, like, we fall into the shit where it's just like, oh, okay, so I guess nobody can grow in their politics. They can't have good politics. After they've had bad politics. Like, I'm getting a little confused about, like, what are we looking for? Maybe you guys can answer this, because you guys obviously consume a lot of this media and you guys are definitely in tune with this stuff. So what do we do? Like, do we wait for the perfect candidate? Yeah, not a lot of actual good evidence the stroke is the cause for his shift. It is mostly a post hoc ergo prompter hawk argument. I agree with Pep. We have to do the with the candidates though. Yeah. 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 No, once they're at that point, the thing is, if you understand electoral politics, then you understand that there are like literal deadlines that like people cannot, get out of. So once you're locked in, you're on the ballot kind of shit. And it's just, if this is who's on the ballot and the other person is Susan Collins, vote for Plattner. We'll deal with his bullshit like this. What if he fucks us? Let's get there. Why are we doing this thing where it's self-defeating, where we're already acting like he is John Fetterman, that he already has fucked us? We're looking for someone that came from a poorer family but has the education of an Ivy League school, the talking ability of Martin Luther King, and has been a leftist their entire life. So someone completely unrealistic. Cool. No, I appreciate that, Sylvie. I think that's where you're going with that. And if not, then yeah, hate to burst our bubble here, but yeah, that's not real. That person's not real. And honestly, if that person showed up, then I'd be sus the fuck out. A too perfect of a candidate, like somebody who's too perfect as a candidate, then I'm immediately like, that's a plant. My thing about politics that I came to understand is that we're electing people to represent our interests at the ballot box or at the, when called for a vote. I don't necessarily need all of their personal stuff to always like align with me, or I don't need somebody that doesn't have a past. Like obviously there are situations in which this would fucking apply, but say for instance, like, this person was like Nick Fuentes style anti-left, and then all of a sudden started running on a Democratic ticket. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, but point taken, Pep. Cool. No, I listen, that's my goal here. I'm trying to chill everybody the fuck out on this, because it's either we do that or we're going to be manipulated into either voting against our interests or just not showing up at all. But we're going to pat ourselves on the back for, protest voting or whatever the fuck. And this is like, don't mistake this for like I'm chastising those that didn't show up for Kamala. No, I don't give a fuck. But it is actually like a good lesson in why protest voting doesn't work, because now we're way worse off. We all watched MAGA be taken in by a charismatic charlatan, and we're hyper aware of it. Yeah. Yeah. Yup. I mean, dude, look at the way that people have talked about Mamdani on my stream. People are already waiting for him to fail. I have heard this comment multiple times, or seen this comment on my stream multiple times. I just hope he's not another Obama. Like, man, can we stop getting in our own way, please? And you guys can, I hope that this does get clipped or gets clipped as the full episode, because this is the stuff that, as far as being a little preachy to our side, I will start to kind of go there, because, man, I've been feeling it more and more. You guys have seen me battle the tankies. You guys have seen, and the jadedness is real, man. Yeah, no, I am getting jaded by this, because again, anytime that I start speaking about Graham Plattner's got some good ideas here, it's always it's always, and it makes me go then I'm going crazy, because I'm like, okay, so is this a right-wing psyop account? And then it's like, no, this is somebody from my fucking from my community that's all of a sudden doing this, where it's just is it the need to be contrarian all the time? What is it? What is it? Because to have that type of attitude and not be running for office yourself, get fucked. God damn it. I love these people that have all the ideas to solve all the problems, but do not go out and try to actually do it. It requires excuses. If we're so fucking smart, then why the fuck Can you not get active? Like, God damn it. Sorry. You can tell that I had a back and forth with somebody on Twitter. Thank you, reference frame. I appreciate that. Also, by the way, guys, I didn't say what up to all of you. I know. I'm sitting here just like chat. Like, people are gonna also respond to me like I am like wagging my finger at you, like you just stupid. But fuck, man, somebody needs to say this shit, and I'm not gonna be fucking like. I covered this yesterday on my stream. I'm not afraid. I ain't afraid of any of you motherfuckers. I'm going to tell it like it is, and I'm going to say what's on my mind. If I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong, or I'll also, like, how many times have I been so, like, stuck in the mud, or stuck in the ground, just like, oh, you cannot move me on this. Internet discourse is about local and statewide race. Wait, internet discourse about local and statewide races tends to flatten the reality on the ground because people mistake internet noise for what matters in a race. Yeah. It also creates this atmosphere that you think you're much more popular than you are. Kat Abou-Ghazali fell into that. I'm gonna like I said it at the beginning, and I'm gonna say it now. What she had online and like the fifis and the fucking vibes were not real. When I went to that political event and she didn't turn up, a lot of people were fucking pissed, and they felt like she already was dealing with the carpet bagging accusations, and then for her to just not show up, and then on her stream kind of insinuate that she doesn't need the middle of the road voter, like I'm gonna get the youth vote, without recognizing that the youth vote in our district was it was something like under 20 something percent, where I was just like, that's not viable. But okay. Like, that's why I kind of got on her for going on Hassan's show, where I was just like, okay, like this, and you know my personal stuff with this. I'm not going to fucking go into that, but realistically, not focusing on the actual locality and what she could do for the people in this locality, that did her in. But you know what I see online? I see a lot of people talking about how, yeah, had Mike Simmons dropped out, had Bushra dropped out, she would have won. No, she wouldn't. If you put if you tally all their votes together, Daniel Biss would have still won. So no, I'm sick of this. Like, I'm sick of the fact that they can never just also admit where it's like, yeah, you know what, we were pretty unpopular there. That's why we lost. After the show, Pep will need to, yeah, that is happening, reference frame. Yes, it is. Guys, full disclosure, that's what I do. That's what I do when I get out of here. I'm just like, yeah. Take a little breather, have some lunch. I have a good lunch lined up. Nice healthy egg sandwich with some pickled peppers and yeah, I forgot what kind of cheese it has on it, but on sourdough, it's fucking delicious. A little bit of spring greens. Yummy. Anyway, what? Pep smokes? No way. Guys, yeah, if you're just finding out about this, I support this. Ooh, sounds good. It is good. Yeah, it's going to be delicious. I can't wait. I just got really hungry all of a sudden, where I was just like, ooh, I got that waiting for me. Cheese is cheese. I think it's Gouda. It might be Gouda or Colby Jack. I think it's Colby Jack. Now I think about it, because it's a little brighter. You know, Gouda is Gouda, but it's also very, blanco. Yeah, sorry, Stunlock there, because I'm dead serious about this, guys. If there's one thing that I am just sick of seeing online way too often, is just how quickly it's like how quickly leftists tend to respond to like the Graham Plattner thing, and just all of a sudden take the contrarian side on it, and just constant. It's just it's cheddar. Oh, it's cheddar. Cool. It's a sharp cheddar. Oh no, I'm supporting a stoner. I gotta recalibrate my shipping. But I also hope that this doesn't come across like me, doing my finger wagging, even though there's a little bit of that. Because realistically, what I want is I want us to be able to fucking work together to win. And that means putting some of our differences aside and recognizing where we have our allegiances. Like, it's not that fucking hard. But I think it's just too easy to like where you feel safer. Like it's that whole with the weaker opposition type of thing, but without having them in power, it feels like you're getting something out. Like again, it feels like your protest vote actually mattered if you can go to this candidate and be like, this is why you lost. But realistically, guys, talking about Graham Plattner with a leftist is a fruitless endeavor. Yeah, that's why it's a problem. Do you understand that's why it's a fucking problem? Do you understand that also trying to placate to the leftiest of leftists and also having them fucking do this thing where they're all of a sudden the arbiters of who is left and who is not? Just get fucked. I don't care anymore about that. Like, if somebody holds that opinion, I don't care because I could probably go through their life and find something that's not exactly leftist. Like I said, had a little back and forth on Twitter that kind of inspired this, where I was just like, I'm getting sick of this. Like, I'm genuinely getting tired of this. So I guess you could call it vote blue no matter who. I don't care what like little catchphrase you have to put on it. Just suck it up, Buttercup, and go and fucking vote for the person that's going to win in a seat that has somebody who's a proven shithead in there. Get somebody new. I think we can all agree that term limits are needed. Well, this is how we kind of enact that. I mean, look at the way that Trump just single-handedly got all of his candidates in there just by convincing people like, well, this person didn't do what I wanted. And that's all he had to say. He didn't have to go and make it about like, just a single issue with some of these people. That slogan doesn't help. No, it does not. No, it doesn't. It's literally blue MAGA bullshit that I would also argue was a psyop to kind of get us to fucking argue with liberals. The whole liberal versus left thing is a fucking psyop. I'm saying it right now. It only benefits Trump. It only benefits the Republicans in power right now. The only people that actually fucking benefit. Sorry. Like I do have that, like, where it's just like, it really is. It's them. They're the only ones. It's almost like I could literally see Pete Hegseth with an alt account pretending to be a lefty, getting everybody fucking up in arms and like, look at it. Look at how we can make them fight themselves. Isn't this fun? And they're good at it. They're so fucking good at it. Oh, the anti-Hassan contingent. Like, oh my God. And then you got fucking TYT pulling their bullshit with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, AOC's not left enough. You know who's lefter than AOC, ironically, on just one issue? AMTG. That means that we're going to throw away our support of AOC because you know what? We just can't get behind her. Anna's fake, like her fake fucking bullshit that she did when she's just like, oh, she needs to run for Senate. And Jake is just like, no, she's poised to go into 2028 and she's the front runner. And she's just like, really? Unless we're just going to prove that we really are that chauvinistic of a country. Because realistically, too, guys, you understand that Berlin trip, another, like, fucking, like, all that coverage on it? Really? Do you care? Do you? You know who I didn't care. Oh, so she messed up well, that just means that she's weak on foreign policy. That just, we can't have somebody that can't just speak, and we need somebody that speaks perfectly. Otherwise, we're going to lose again, and I can't deal with it. I'm too traumatized. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Because, guys, it's hard out there, man. And it's even harder out there being someone like me that's willing to point this shit out, where it's just like, as much as I would love to be friends with everybody, which I'm a people pleaser at heart, and I love like it when people say they don't like me. I do have like that little genuine like, oh, but then I also have that okay. It's just as fast as I go, oh. So, with that being said, I hope you guys do like me. I hope that everybody at least, can hear my opinions and not immediately go like, well, I can't watch this guy. Had that here. Shit, man. How many times have I had that? Probably too many to count. Like hell, dude. You should have seen my stream yesterday. I watched it go down in like real time, but good food for thought though. No, that's all I'm trying to give you guys is a little food for thought. And just, I guess the long and short of this one is chill out. Let the Democrat or the progressive or actually the Democrat or the progressive candidate, let them win and vote for them. If they are better than a right-wing shithead that's in there, vote for them. That's my bottom line. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's the show. I hope you guys had fun. Come and join me at 4 p.m. Central and for, what is it, 5 Eastern? There we go. Yeah. And have some fun with me. I will catch you guys tomorrow on Primetime Pep Talks or Primetime Pepaganda. And you guys have a good day. Peace.
Who the heck is Pep Talks?
I'm not gay, but I fantasize about Marco Rubio. Pep Talks. Pep Talks. Pep Talks. Let's eradicate the Kung Flu. I'm literally coming. Pep Talks. Pep Talks.
Who the heck is Pep Talk?
They want our women. They want our children.
Pep Talk.
Sometimes no means yes. Grab them by the Pep Talk. Grab them by the Marco Rubio. Obama is a racist.
Pep Talk.
I'm literally coming. I'm literally coming.
Pep Talks.
We found weapons of mass destruction. My fellow Americans, it has been confirmed today from Pep Talks that we are indeed all high on politics.